Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. My name is Zach, otherwise known as Pulpy Syntax, and today is a double feature and the sun has gone down, so technically it's tonight. I had a great day today. I filmed an Anne Boleyn react this morning, which just a little bit frustrating, but then the rest of the day was great. I kind of toddled around the home. I went out for a skate with a few friends that I hadn't seen in quite a few months, which was great. I got a little bit too much sun, so I'm feeling mildly burnt, but I did put sunscreen on. And then we went out and got some food, and now I'm home. And I've come home to find that Miss Chantal Marie, Miss Foodie Beauty, has uploaded not one but two new clips. I did mildly skim through the FabFitFun, that's what it was. I did briefly skim through that, and it was possibly the least interesting thing I think I've ever seen. I don't understand the premise of getting a surprise box of home goods, and no doubt that costs some money. And the most interesting thing she received out of there was champagne flutes, which you could purchase yourself, and you don't need to pay a subscription box. Anyway, that's not the video we're reacting to tonight. Tonight we're reacting to Instant Pot Beef Stew First Time Trying. Instant Pot Beef Stew First Time. It's not grammatically correct. Or at least I'm far more confused than I think I ought to be. The reason why I want to react to this one is I did kind of trawl across the timeline and see that there is actually cooking in this, so that'll be fun. We get to talk about cooking and food, and that's great. So with all of that being said, let's get into the video. We are sped up, and here we go.
Hello, Foodie Beauty.
Hello, Chantal.
Excuse me.
Nope, that's the cat.
Are you just gonna watch me make this whole stew?
Get him off the counter.
I don't need spectators. I don't. I really don't.
Is there anything interesting in this frame, apart from the cats, who both just look like they've had more than enough? No. All I see is kind of Glad bags, and I assume that's Wonder Bread. Alright.
But you're welcome to stay, as long as you stay over there and stay away from my cooking station on this side of things. Because you know what? I don't want hairballs. I see what they do to you guys, and I just could do without, quite frankly. Okay.
We've had two cats in our family. One was Shannara, who was my grandmother's cat, and one's name was Slick. He was a total asshole. He was a long-haired, well, like Himalayan or something, a beautiful looking cat, but like not brought up well, and would just claw your ankles out for no reason, just because like you were in the way. But I do recall there being cat hair literally everywhere. He was smart enough not to go on kitchen counters because he would get taken off quite quickly. But there just must be a reasonable amount of cat hair just in the air and on the surfaces and potentially in the food. So that's not my problem. Oh, okay, Instant Pot Beef Stew. I'll preface all of this with saying I'm not a chef. I don't work in a professional kitchen, and I've never used an Instant Pot before. In my opinion, Instant Pots kind of just seem a little bit pointless. They shave a little bit of time off your cooking, I guess, but I don't live a lifestyle where I need to, save an hour on my cooking currently. Perhaps it's really good for some people, but I don't see what this thing can do that either a pressure cooker or even just a stovetop and a pan could, can't manage.
Alright guys, first things first, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of olive oil to the Instapot, and we're going to put it on saute.
I hate to be that guy. That didn't look like you were pouring it from a tablespoon measure. So you were eyeballing that. And that's fine. You are following a recipe. It doesn't really matter. Just me being a nitpicky dude.
Once the oil is hot, you are going to put half of the meat in the pot, sprinkle it with salt and pepper, and you're going to let it cook on each side for about 4 minutes. Do not turn it until it comes up easily and it is perfectly brown. Well, it's brown enough on each side.
Okay, well, I mean, so far I'm not seeing anything that you can't do with the traditional stovetop. it is good. She's following a recipe that I have picked up. So I have it on my right. I'm not going to like nitpick the actual method here. It's not that important. I'm just interested to see what the process and result is here.
You're going to do this.
Also, there's no weighing of anything. So I'm taking this recipe at face value based on the recipe that she's following. So it is 2 pounds of boneless beef chuck roast or stew meat. In the end result, my assumption, following this recipe.
2 batches, and then put the beef in a clean bowl and set aside. All of the brown bits at the bottom of the pot are where the flavor is going to come from. We're going to deglaze the bottom of the pot after. Yep. So if you see brown like this from the meat sticking, that's a good thing. All right, so we just put our meat aside in a bowl like this. Now I'm going to cook the onion and the garlic. Cook the onion until it is just translucent and the garlic until fragrant, but be careful not to burn the garlic.
Yep.
All right, so now I've turned the saute
so
off
far pretty
and
simple.
I've added 1 of the 3 cups of beef broth into the pot, and I'm just going to use a wood spoon. Be careful not to use metal or you may ruin your pot, just to deglaze the bottom. If you don't do this, apparently you will get an error message on the Instant Pot, like a burn warning.
You won't get an error message on a stovetop and your own pots and pans.
Now I've added the 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. I'm just going to mix that around. Probably would have been easier to add the tomato paste before the meat, but whatever.
Yeah. Also, you just said don't use a metal spoon in your Instant Pot, and now you have a metal spoon scraping around in your Instant Pot.
Now the Worcester sauce.
Worcestershire. Damn it! Worcestershire.
I think I said that correctly this time. No?
I'm working on
Now
it.
the remaining cups of beef broth.
Okay.
And now add the vegetables on top of the meat and don't mix. I've added 1 bay leaf, some pepper, and some Italiano seasoning because I don't have any time. So I'm just going to add this and see if it works. All right, now I'm going to secure the lid and lock the pressure steam valve. And I'm going to set this to 35 minutes on manual pressure, high pressure for 35 minutes.
Great. I'll let this go. Yep. It's pressure cooking.
Okay, guys, we just filmed the FabFitFun Winter Box video, so stay tuned for
I
that.
watched it.
But the food is still going here.
I
have it timed for the 35 minutes. It should turn off, I guess, by itself. Oh yeah, I think that was the beeping. We're going to let it slow release for 10 minutes, then release the valve. Be very careful when you're doing that. Yeah, it's releasing the pressure a bit. I can hear it.
So the prep time would have been like 25 minutes to cook the beef and maybe 20 minutes to do all of that, plus 35 for the cooking time, plus 15 for depressurization. Okay. Like, this is still a dish that takes over an hour. Now, if you think of like a traditional stew, I guess, yes, they would take like an hour plus on the stove because you do want to, slow cook that meat and reduce the liquids where you can. I'm not 100% set on this recipe because for me, I really like a stew with like a little bit of vinegar and a little bit of wine in the base, but that's just me, personal preference.
You need to make a slurry. I forgot to tell you. So I have here some cornstarch. I'm using, everything is all wet, full of the condensation from the stuff.
Again, something that I guess you have a bit more control over on a stovetop is just how much moisture you're getting out of a liquid, because you can obviously bring to boil and simmer and like take the lid off and control all of those things. In a pressure cooker, it's a little bit of a different situation. Again, it's a lot quicker, and you get like consistently tender cooking of your proteins that are surrounded by liquids. I don't know. I'm just not sold on the idea, and I know that they're expensive, and it kind of just feels like another appliance that'd be cluttering up my countertop. And that's just me, though.
The pressure cooker. So I'm using cornstarch, Bob's Red Mill, whatever cornstarch you have is good. Yeah, so you put 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, 2 tablespoons of water. I still want to say corn snatch because that's what BB used to say, corn snatch.
Corn snatch.
Oh, grow up.
No, never.
Hi, Sam. Can you put this one, please? You're tall.
The cat's...
Look at him.
You get him away from the...
He needs to get away from the pressure.
Yeah.
He's
fine.
It's releasing now. Okay, yeah, the pressure's... I can't hear it really anymore. So we're going to let it release for about 10 minutes or so. Then we're going to open the lid and put the slurry in. So...
Slurry is
It's fine, but like maybe get the cat off the counter next to the thing releasing high-pressured steam.
Enticing word.
It is. So we'll see you guys in a few minutes, okay?
So I've added the cornstarch and water mix, and I've put it back on saute mode.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to let it come to a simmer and let it simmer for a few minutes until the sauce thickens, and then it will be ready to plate up and eat.
Yeah, I mean, it looks okay. Again, like it's dried herbs. I would prefer fresh herbs. I'll call this out right now. I'm not a fan of bay leaves because I don't believe they actually add any flavor to any recipe that I've ever tried. Comment down below if you want to have a fight about bay leaves. Also, like they're toxic if you ingest them. You know, all of those things. I just think they're kind of useless. Does this look okay? I mean, yeah, it looks okay. It's potatoes and carrots and beef and stock and garlic and onion and now cornstarch and water. Again, and some dried herbs. I would just like a little bit more interest here. Maybe some rosemary, probably some wine. Just a little bit more of a diverse range of flavors in this stew. Because stews are great. Like this is a very good base, but you could zhuzh it up a little bit more, I think. Like you could put turnips in there or parsnip or something
This
interesting.
is what it looks like. Yum.
Eat dinner with us.
Looks pretty good. That's Peetz's
Yeah.
and mine.
Again, we come back to the issue of mukbangs and proportions and perception because this entire recipe seems like quite a bit, and is this recipe that she followed just these 2 portions? Because if it is, pretty significant amount of calories. Is this good food? Yes, it is whole foods that have been cooked. I would eat the heck out of it, but I think controlling a portion here would be, and like I'd want to have peas or something with it, or Brussels sprouts or something green and fibrous. It's just me.
In a bowl. Ugh, I'm leaking. Like Rudy Giuliani. My hair fibers.
Oh, yeah.
I can't even laugh at him because I've been through there. Well, I haven't had it like leak down my head, but...
You can laugh at him because you haven't done it on national friggin' television.
Also, he's like not a great dude. So you can laugh for that, I guess.
I've done it on YouTube though. No, it hasn't leaked on YouTube, I don't think. I don't know. But yeah, it's embarrassing. Okay, so...
Yeah, you're not
It is rather embarrassing.
the lawyer for the President of the United States of America.
That's true. That's true.
The one thing there is because there's 2 shots of Mr. Rudy, right? One of them is the hair coverage leakage, that is not a great shot. The other shot is a photo of his orthopedic shoes that people were kind of ragging on, and I saw a lot of conversation about like, why is everyone mad at orthopedics? Like people need them, especially as they get older. I don't know, interesting conversations to have, right?
Well, regardless.
Trying to...
I can still sympathize with someone who uses hair fillers, okay? All right. I'm going to have bread and butter with my meal. Do you like bread and butter?
I'm assuming that's Wonder Bread.
Nope.
It looks
I'm a
good.
weirdo.
I would, again, a simple thing like some fresh herbs, you know, sliced and put on top or garnished. Some green would really help this for me.
You're not weird. Well, we're both weird. So this is just like margarine, whatever. Blue menu margarine. I don't know about, there's just something about bread or sandwiches when they're cut in half, they taste better. I don't know, it's like a weird psychological thing. I swear.
The correct way to cut a sandwich is diagonally. I'll die on that hill.
So, bread and butter and stew. Oh my,
She did it right though. She cut it diagonal.
stew. Is it good?
Mm-hmm.
It must be really hot. I'm gonna dunk it. Beat bite.
As a former fatty, you don't you don't use your bread like this. Your bread is used for cleaning up the sauce, right? There's I do work with some Italian gentlemen, and they have a word for it. Scapetti, something. But they literally have a word for the bread that they use to sop, I guess would be the closest translation, to sop up the leftovers with, or the leftover sauce with. But you eat your meal first and then finish with the bread. Totally my opinion, guys. I'm not that upset about it.
The sauce?
And Peetz didn't get any carrots. Maybe he doesn't like them.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's really good, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Let's see if the meat's tender. Is it tender?
Nah, it's definitely still a bit tough.
Ah.
Could definitely stand to have been tenderer.
Not bad though.
No, it's good.
It's not like super chewy.
Yeah.
It's not fall apart yet, but it's like still tender enough for me.
It's the first time using that.
I wonder if with an Instant Pot you can't because I know she did a saute at the end, and I wonder if you could just taste the food at that stage and make a decision of, oh, I need to repressurize this for another 10 minutes, or if I could just leave it on saute for a little longer to kind of break down those protein binds. I don't know.
Pressure cooker, so
Maybe I should play with an Instant Pot, actually.
I used a recipe from a website, so I'm just gonna link the recipe in the description.
I have it in front of me.
I've been craving cooked carrots.
Okay. Peetz wasn't.
So, if you try to make a stew in that pressure cooker again, it'll come out even better.
Yeah. No. I guess maybe if you have any suggestion, guys, like maybe cook it a bit longer with a bit more liquid. I find
It doesn't seem like...
I find it pretty tender.
Nah, it does need to be tenderer.
I guess it's a matter of preference.
Yeah, going around in a circle.
I find mine pretty tender. Unless with certain pieces, I don't know.
I don't think it works like that.
I could try to make it more tender though. Nothing wrong with being more tender.
Yep.
Sorry guys, is there an inside joke about the word tender that I'm not getting here? This is kind of bizarre.
Now,
They've said tender like 17.
some people like it with like a nice crusty bread is good too. But I don't know, just plain white Wonder Bread for me is.
I like a
It's still-
sourdough. Oh no, Peetz has a carrot.
hot.
I don't find it too hot, honestly.
Is this it? Is this the conversation?
Maybe because yours isn't a plate.
Probably spread out more so the heat's dissipating more.
Oh, yeah. I'm out of my favorite pickles, so I have to resort to Bix.
Stew and
I'm the one
pickles?
eating, so I can put my hand in the jar, right?
Yep.
Hasn't killed me yet. Watch me keel over.
What, the pickles haven't killed you yet?
Putting my hand in the jar.
Ah. Why would that kill you?
Bacteria.
I think it's
Bacteria!
I think it's mostly just gross.
Whatever.
like you have been eating, you haven't washed your hands, and then you've dunked your hands into a jar. Now that jar's vinegar, and that's generally, not a great place for bacteria to grow, but there's also sugar in there. So, and bacteria loves sugar. Yeah, so I would argue dunking your hand into a jar of pickle juice is not the most cleanly thing to do.
Whatever. I do what I want.
Most cleanly?
It's not like people
The
wash their
cleanliest
pickles
thing
off
to
when they
do.
take them out of the jar.
Sorry.
No, they mean like people mean like if I keep putting my hand in, I'm putting bacteria in the jar.
You are.
That's what I say.
That's
what I say.
That's how that works. You'd think 2020 would have taught us something about contamination and germs and how they spread.
Sam, he's eating crunchies. So, the first time using the Instant Pot, I want to say Instapot, I don't know why. Instant
It's a
Pot.
better name.
By the way, I'm drinking water. And so is Peetz.
Have we got a topic of conversation for this dinner, or is it just eat and stew?
In case you all forgot what water looks like.
So,
I mean, it's not Sprite, so...
we don't have the light on, the ring light, because
it sucks.
yeah, it's so bright in the face. Okay?
Yep. It's way too bright.
I think this lighting, like, works fine. I think that if you had any level of drive, you would just find a way to dim the light or perhaps cover it with something sheer. But okay, whatever.
I find my beef is perfectly tender. I guess it's just a matter of taste.
Yeah, probably.
Foods like that. Yep.
Did a cat just meow? Did Sam just make a noise?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, he's trying to eat my tree. He stopped. Yeah, every once in a while I just crave a good stew, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, stew's good.
Is this it? Okay. If they're not going to talk. The recipe that they followed...
Did you ever eat the Campbell's chunky stew in a can?
Doesn't matter. The recipe that they followed, this
Probably not.
is allegedly 6 serves
Because my mom would make
at
stew.
around 400
Yeah,
calories
that's
per serve.
So, like,
So if they split it,
Campbell's.
we're looking at least
When she could make something better.
1,200 calories
Yeah. Your mom
just
would-
in this dinner. Sneaks up on you
Split
guys.
on Campbell's.
Like,
Nah.
it really does.
No?
No, she doesn't want to bother with it.
Talking about Pete's mum and Campbell's.
I mean, she might now because she doesn't have a kitchen.
What?
She has a kitchen. It's just small.
Oh. I have a very small kitchen, and I hope you guys will get to see it in a couple of weeks.
I think it's barely a kitchen.
Oh, it is a kitchenette.
Barely a kitchenette.
I feel you. Well, I feel Pete's mum.
Potatoes stay hot
Pete's mum.
for like 10 years after you cook them.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why the song Hot Potato. But,
Like the Wiggles hot potato?
your mom's kitchen is pretty small. It's like the smallest kitchenette I've ever seen. I think in my life. But still,
What?
she manages to crank out good meals in it. Right?
Yep.
So, sometimes it's not the size that matters, it's how you use it.
That's what women always say. They're always lying.
No. It's the men that are lying that say they know how to use it.
Not touching any of this with
Well, yeah, that goes without saying.
a 10-foot pole.
But when women say size doesn't matter, that's a lie. They're just trying to make the guys feel better.
Okay, Pete, let it go. Like, someone may allegedly have told you that at some stage in your life. Maybe it was Chantel. Maybe this is just some passive-aggressive conversation happening right here. In that context, that's actually real hilarious. Chantel and Pete's were together. Chantel said, "It doesn't matter how big it is." Pete's then said, "Well, at least I know how to use it." 10 years later, they're sitting on camera eating stew, reliving a previous conversation. That makes me laugh.
If you're in love with somebody, it doesn't matter. You done?
Yep.
Man, you should have some bread to sop that up.
What a
Such a shame.
tangent.
Should have had a nice salad too.
Boo. Sides. I don't know, just a salad with a stew? I don't know, this doesn't seem right somehow.
A nice garden salad?
Yeah.
Like I said, I'd do some roasted Brussels sprouts. I'd do some asparagus. Maybe if I'm feeling unambitious, some broccoli or some frozen peas. Just something green with this would be great.
I cannot eat these.
You've been spoiled.
Yeah. Once you go gourmet gherkins, you don't go back.
This flavor combination is bonkers bananas. I would assume that the majority of the audience knows what this stew would taste like. With pickles. I just don't see it as appealing.
So, should have saved my bread for the end. When there's more.
I agree to, like, use up your
Sauce
liquid.
at the bottom.
Yeah.
It's really good, guys. You should try it.
Maybe. Probably not, though.
Hi, Sam.
Doesn't seem like a super interesting recipe, so...
What are you getting, Peetz? A Kit Kat?
Yeah. Okay.
Almost done mine.
You hear Sam there?
Now what do you do?
He made it a little.
You're such a good man. Righteous man.
That's what I always tell you.
It's a cat, Chantel.
And then you always go back to, no, he's a bad boy. He's not.
He's a beezer. So by definition, he's a bad boy.
He's not. He's a good boy. You just admitted it.
Sam?
No take backs.
I'm sorry, guys. I just don't have a whole lot. I was honestly hoping that the cooking section would have gone a little bit longer, but instead we're just sitting down to dinner with Peetz and Chantel with no topics to talk about.
Alright.
Nice Kit Kats. I tried a couple of Kit Kat flavors from Japan when my housemate came back after a holiday. There was like a strawberry Kit Kat that was particularly good. There was some red bean flavored Kit Kats that were not good. Comment below what your favorite flavor of Kit Kat is. Although, from my understanding, the American selection of flavors is not great.
Oh, yummy.
Sponsorship deals, Nestle? Send us some free Kit Kats.
Sponsor you.
Come on, send us free Kit Kats, Nestle.
You're the #1 fan.
Now, now I can talk about something. So, in previous videos, Peetz had proclaimed his unending hatred of Jeff Bezos, right? The richest man on the planet, worth $1 trillion or whatever, all thanks to the company Amazon. So he basically said, fuck Amazon, which is fair. I mean, like, sure, whatever. My problem now is this. Even if it's a joke, even if it doesn't matter, hey, Nestle, you should sponsor us because I love Kit Kats and I eat them on camera all the time. Now, Nestle is a super problematic corporation. It is one of the major corporations that owns almost every other company in the world. And they basically are stealing the Earth's resources to sell bottled water. Allegedly. Don't come for me, big Nestle. So it is interesting where he picks his battles in terms of his opinions. Because, like I said, Nestle, I think they're the biggest corporation when it comes to bottled water. And I'm 95% sure that one of their board of directors or one of their CEO or CFO or something very high up in the international company basically said water isn't a human right. It's a need, not a right. So, yeah, not a fan of big Nestle, but Peetz is. Amazon can get fucked because they're not proactively fixing every problem in the world. But Nestle, they're all right, even though they are literally stealing the world's water. Anyway.
I doubt it. There are people who collect Kit Kat memorabilia.
Yeah, that's true. I probably have a room full of Kit Kat memorabilia and stuff, eh?
Mm-hmm.
friend who worked for Nestle, who used to like open Kit Kat like pop-up shops. And there was a big like drive for chocolate artistry and things like that happening with the brand as well. Good time. Good times.
Sleep with their Kit Kat body pillow.
Alright, guys. That was very delicious.
Yep, that was very good.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it.
That's good. Oh, people want me to do a video making something that will make you say, this is really something other than, it's okay, it's good.
I just said this is really good.
Oh, there you go, guys. My stew made him say it's really good. He complained about the tenderness.
Yep.
There's some kind of like housemate, like petty sticky note tension here in this video.
No, there used to be this woman at when I worked. One place I used to work. I felt so bad because there was this woman and she was so.
Is that a Freudian slip? When I worked, did she only have one job prior to this experience? We don't know. It's an interesting question though.
So nice, and she must. I think
I'm sure
she
she
had, like,
just
a whole bunch of dogs with like white hair because every year apparently she would bring in Christmas treats. Like that was the benefit of working at the front reception area because I would get the first hand off of all the treats.
Mm-hmm.
There was another worker who would bake these amazing butter cookies and everyone wanted them. Then this woman would come in with her box of treats. We'd open the lid and there would be like visible chunks of dog hair throughout every treat, like white dog hair. And so we're all like, oh, like how can she not see that when she's baking? There was nothing wrong with her vision.
The comment down there says, it's the thought that counts, and I agree. However, if this happens in your workplace, because I'm the person who brings baked goods into work because I like making it, but I don't want to eat it all to myself, and I'd much rather, spread the joy and not not pack on the pounds. But if there was something wrong with my cooking or something, well, people were finding like hair in my baking consistently, I would really like to be told because something's going on that I'm not fully aware of. So I hope someone at this workplace that Chantal is speaking on told this kind-hearted employee that, hey, we're finding hair in your treats. Just FYI. But thank you.
Anyway. So if you want that kind of cake. Okay guys, I'm gonna go now. So thanks for watching us scarf down this stew. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.
Bye.
Goodbye, Chantel and Peetz. Okay, well, that was ultimately not the most interesting thing, unfortunately. Again, I was kind of hoping there would be a little bit more cooking and a little bit more involved in that. We didn't get that, and we didn't get great dinner time conversation either. The stew looked perfectly fine. Sorry, guys. If you have reached this point in the video, thank you so much. As always, I appreciate your comments, opinions, and eyeballs, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.